So, when I was trying to think of something to talk about a few months ago, I decided that maybe if I went online and watched a few videos myself, they'd inspire me to greatness. So I went online, I searched, and watched more videos than I ever cared to. And you can't just watch the videos, you have to go in and search who's giving the talk, why should I listen to them, and more importantly, information about what the topic is just so you can understand the idea completely and fully. Then, after I do this and get a few ideas, I'd stop and talk with my colleagues about these ideas and see what they thought. Almost every time I was sent right back to the drawing board. Now, this went on for a few days, but then I realized that what I wanted to talk about was right in front of me. And it's the fact that our technology's ability to search so much, so quickly is allowing me to get a lot of ideas. But as I talk with my colleagues about it, I realized how my ideas are incomplete and all over the place. Now, this showed me two things. Technology is training us to be quicker and get through our work much more efficiently, but on the other side, it's also breaking down our ability just to communicate ideas fully and explain them to other people. So today, everyone in this audience and around the world are living in one of the greatest periods of history due to the advancements that have been made in technology. This has brought out consequences that no one would have ever seen happening in both a positive and a negative light. Now, understanding both sides of this will provide us with a better understanding of where technology is taking the world and the limitations it will be putting on us. The importance of this to my life and many of yours is the fact that being able to use technology to our advantage is a skill we all need to have in the 21st century workforce, but the ability to communicate and convey ideas is equally, if not more important. Now, imagine living in the 1960s and having one phone in your kitchen if you were lucky that was attached to a cord, and books and board games for entertainment, or being outdoors. Then, we have the invention of the computer, shortly followed by the invention of the internet, which changed the entire world. Slowly at first, but faster and faster, our technology has evolved and shaped the world around us, which in turn is shaping what we do and our abilities as people. Technology is shaping our minds to be able to handle larger amounts of information in a much faster paced manner, which in turn is making everything a lot more efficient. Instead of going to the library and reading a book for information, we can Google two simple words and get more information from those websites than we could have found in that book. We can find out anything we want or need to know in minutes, and not just a specific bit about it, but an understanding of the whole topic. And if that's not what you're looking for, don't worry. There's always another page you can go to. So what? This translates to how technology is used in our daily life, whether it be at home or at your place of employment. Being able to keep pace with technology is going to be so important, especially for those near entering the workforce, because it's only going to continue to improve and become faster and more complex. So acclimating to this sooner rather than later is going to leave potential new employees much better off. Now, I was at dinner with some family friends a few weeks ago, and one of them works for the Human Resources Department for a big insurance company, and she does a lot of the interviews of new employees. So I asked her if she'd been busy with college graduation nearing, and she said yes, but the rest of her response is what really stuck out to me. She said that these candidates come for the interview and only want to talk about their technical skills on a computer or what they are able to accomplish at school. She looked at me and said, "That is the worst. I know what they can do already. I wouldn't have called them back if I didn't know what they could do. I just want someone who can come in and talk to me about who they are as a person and not what they can do." This then shows me whether they'll be able to work together with others and communicate their ideas fully without causing arguments and causing more problems. She finished this with saying, "Selling yourself to your potential employer is much more important than the skills that most of all the applicants possess, and which is what got them through the door." The issue here is that businesses need employees that can be efficient and produce a lot for them, but they also need employees that can communicate effectively, whether it be with a coworker, in a group setting, with higher-ups in the company, or just customers in general. Now, as a member of such an advanced society, I think it's important to recognize how far we've come. We have drones that can follow you from the air just by the small computers in our pocket, and computers that can make reading books a thing of the past. We're sending people text messages and emails all the way around the world that just 40 years ago would have taken multiple operators and cost a lot just for a minute on the phone. Now, these should be looked at as major accomplishments for the human race, but has it gone too far? Is technology breaking down the human's ability to communicate with one another effectively? So I was reading a few articles a few weeks ago, and I stumbled across one called Addicted to Distraction. It was by a guy named Nicholas Carr. And he makes the point that the medium we're using to read and research and communicate, technology, is causing our personal communication systems to break down. Now, today, most everyone in the audience has a smartphone or tablet within arm's reach. We use them from everything from a quick search to communicating through texting and social media. Now, Twitter is notorious with the 140 character limit on what you can say, taking away the ability to elaborate, which is awesome in some senses because, let's be honest, some people post way too much, but its effect on the real world's communication is detrimental to society as we know it. This form of communication, along with texting, allows you to send short, mostly unorganized messages quickly, and this is what we can call fragmenting. Sending these short, unorganized messages instead of descriptive, organized messages with all the necessary details for the recipient to understand the whole message you're trying to get across. This technology and fragmenting affects how we communicate in our daily lives because you become so used to the small, simple messages that being descriptive and being able to elaborate becomes a thing of the past. We're all guilty of sending one of the most annoying text messages ever, and some of us more than others. And what I'm referring to is when you text someone to grab something you forgot, like your wallet or your phone charger, and all you say is, "Hey, I forgot my wallet and phone charger. Can you grab it?" There's one fatal flaw with that message. What should have said is, "Hey, I left my wallet on my dresser and my phone charger next to my bed in my room. Can you grab them for me?" The second message is much more descriptive and clear and is going to save you time because they're going to get what you need to you quicker because they're going to find it right away and not have to dig and look for it. This does not just happen through text either. I've definitely been in the same situation over the phone, and after the third or fourth phone call, I'm like, why didn't I just tell them everything I wanted the first time? I'm tired of getting phone calls. The point is, giving too little detail and not elaborating is a problem for a lot of people, and they don't even realize it. One of the wisest things I've ever heard is, your generation's problem is, it can't elaborate. And the more I thought about it, the more I saw the truth behind those words. We just send short phrases through text and assume the recipient understands the whole message or story. And this habit translates over to the real world too. We all know what it feels like to listen to someone just ramble on, but they never stop to explain something and little to no significant knowledge is gained until you make them back up and question them until you find out the details that should have been included in the first place. The problem is that the more technology takes over, the less personal communication will happen face to face, and if society keeps it up at this pace, personal and meaningful face-to-face communication skills are going to be lost. Looking back to talking with that family friend, I think to myself how important the ability to present yourself as a professional, but more importantly as a personable person, could be for those entering the job market in the next 10 to 20 years. Now, this is not to say that technology has ruined how we live our lives, but rather that understanding the effect this technology has on us and controlling our usage so we can maintain the type of communication that is necessary for our society to develop further is very important. Now, this is something that everyone can look at and evaluate for themselves, and by doing so, we can all gain a better understanding of how technology affects each and every one of us. So, I'll leave you with this. Every time you're laying in bed at night, what are you doing? Maybe it's time to turn that computer off, to shut the TV off, lock your phone, and enjoy the time away from it all. Let your brain clear from the day instead of working at overtime all night on your computer watching Netflix or tweeting. Instead of sending that last-minute reminder text, write a note to remind yourself in the morning. The point is, if we're responsible with our technology, we can save our ability to communicate effectively, which in turn will make the world a much brighter place. And part of being responsible includes knowing when to give your brain a rest from those bright screens at the end of the day. Thank you.